Brett Tolman's joining us now, a former U.S. attorney and former Senate Judiciary Committee counsel. You were listening to this as well. Brett, your reaction?
I was. She said something that was very important to key in on. She indicated there's no jury. The judge had already made a finding. So what you have now is a judge, not so much the Attorney General's office. You have a judge that is having to defend himself and his ruling. And the way he does that is through what he admits into evidence. And so what he's admitting into evidence are things, the short answers of the president's, or things that are fitting his decision that he made. That's a problem when it goes forward on appeal if he has in fact shut down the president's full answer.
You know, Brett, when you take a look back at Letitia James, she said in an interview with Rachel Maddow that she never campaigned on getting President Trump, despite all of the receipts that show she did exactly that, that there's no personal vendetta against Trump, which her statements during the election campaign would seem to contradict. Andy McCarthy was talking about this, that this is more of a political exercise than it is a legal exercise. And yet you have Judge Engoron saying, trying to shut the former president down, saying, I'm not here to listen to a political speech. This isn't a political rally. It's a courtroom. But when you take a look at how he got there and the people who are trying him, maybe it is more of a political rally of sorts than it is a legal proceeding. What do you think?
Well, you're exactly right. And there's a danger whenever you use a statute that has a lot of gray areas in it. And when you go forward on a case, whether it's a real estate appraisal prosecution or a case against individuals based on the representation of their wealth, you're dealing with a lot of gray areas. And those are the cases that take an intense amount of investigative work to make sure before you bring them that you have solid facts, and you have facts that suggest it was on purpose that a particular target tried to overstate their wealth. Here, you don't have that. You have the reverse. You have a lack of carefulness, a lack of thoughtfulness, because what's driving it is the politics. Whenever that happens, we lose faith and confidence, I agree, in the justice system. But now you're starting to see what happens when a judge is also participating in the politics rather than the rule of law.
We just saw the president's legal team return there just a moment ago. So on screen left, we do expect that this will be back underway within the next 45 minutes or so. Brett, she came out, the lawyer for the former president, Alina Habba, calling the judge unhinged. She said he's been slamming the table. He yelled at her. This after the judge repeatedly admonished the former president, saying this is not a political rally. Demanding at one point that the former president's lawyer control him. Where do you think this is going to go this afternoon?
Well, it's fascinating. You're seeing the clash of titans, actually, the power of a judge in his own courtroom, and their comfort. They are so accustomed to having everything go the way they want it. They have people around them that do just what they ask all the time. Now you have an individual who's not going to be controlled. The problem they have is this is the target of the investigation, and he does get to give answers. You may not like the answers. You may try to get him to stop rambling. But I've been in plenty courtrooms where judges had to just sit through and let the witnesses respond. Otherwise, you're really risking the case on appeal. And that's what you're seeing play out, is those clash of titans and personalities in this courtroom.
All right, Brett Tolman joining us live on the breaking news as you're still looking live there at the